Hey, hey, party people in the place to be. It's Blag the Ripper, and you're tuned to Songs and Lyrics. I am here tonight with the legend, Johnny Two Bags. Johnny, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Blag. Thanks.
You know Johnny from Social Distortion, and you know him as one of the founding members of the Cadillac Tramps. But did you know that he does solo stuff, and unlike most side guys' solo stuff, it's actually good. So we're gonna play Avenues by Johnny Two Bags on Songs and Lyrics. All right, Johnny, you got to tell me about this song, because you know how it is, right? I want to play some of your shit. Great, you got the record, and my prejudice is immediately going, I bet there's going to be some good guitar playing on here and some really shitty vocal, right? That's my first thought. I put this thing on, that's a real deal fucking vocal right there, man. And not just in terms of having a nice voice with texture, but in terms of delivery. Like this one, tell me about this song. Tell me about Avenues.
Okay, so I actually, okay, you're a songwriter. We tend to like come up with we grab a guitar, we're playing some changes, maybe a melody pops in your head. You start sort of scatting some syllables, right? Maybe you come up with a lyric here and there, a general idea of something. I mean, it's all about accessing that part of your imagination, and it's tricky. Right? And you gotta just kind of like, I believe in like the muse, you know, I don't know what the muse is, but I believe that, I mean.
Yeah, I hate those people that are like, I write a song every day. I'm like, you write a shitty song every day? What are you, like a rookie? But that's how pros do it, right? The real people who make money as songwriters, they're like, I write a song every day. Sometimes I write two, you know? I can't do that. I'm a muse guy too. It's like, I have to have something to say, like some reason, you know? And so my output's not as much, but I feel like when it comes out, it's better. So was this one, it kind of hit you from outer space? Because this is the opening track on your record.
No, that's actually not. I think that's the second or third track. The first one's called One Foot in the Gutter.
YouTube's got it up first on the album.
They got it in the wrong order.
Oh, okay.
But, well, I mean, I have hundreds and hundreds of those literally, of those shitty ideas, you know. I have boxes of cassettes from when I would use I had a little Sony stereo microphone cassette recorder that I carried with me everywhere, and ran that thing until, I mean, all you can hear when you record with that is the motor.
Right, yeah.
I used it for so long, and then when we got the phones, you know, you just start using your voice memos, right? For all your ideas. But I have so many ideas, and, you know, they're just, when I say accessing the muse or whatever, you just have to be ready for anything, and I think that my best ideas are ideas that I didn't have anything to do with. They just came literally out of nowhere.
You're the channel for them, yes, absolutely.
And the things where I have this premise in mind or this topic in mind.
This is the greatest and best song in the world. Tribute.
So this thing was funny because I had this kind of working lyric, you know, placeholder lyric for the chorus.
Mm-hmm.
That was like, rock and roll, baby, or some bullshit. Right? I mean, it was so stupid. And it's one of the last songs that I recorded for the record. And I don't know if I was just getting lazy or what, but I brought it to the studio. Me and my buddy Dave Kalish made this record together. And I brought it down.
And Dave was the producer, or did he play instruments on it too?
He played a lot of keyboards and stuff on it, but he co-produced and engineered it. He and I produced it together.
Okay.
And we did it at his place. It's called Red Star Studios in Silver Lake.
Okay.
So I bring this song in, like, all right, this is it. I don't have the title yet, and the lyrics aren't quite done, but here's what I'm thinking. And it, rock and roll, baby.
Right. Yeah.
And he's just looking at me like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like,
yeah.
take this thing to go back to work.
Yeah.
Right? So,
which is the kindest thing someone can say to you, right? I mean, if you're a real deal musician and you're trying to make great shit, the kindest thing somebody can say to you is, hey man, this isn't up to your standard, right? But the music industry hates that.
Right.
Because if you're a real producer, then it's always like bedside manner and be kind, and everybody's sensitive and everybody likes their own shit and they don't want to cry. And so, you know what I mean? Like, people always talk about the producers they hate is the one that actually helped you.
Yeah.
And the producer you love is the one that gave you enough rope to hang yourself, and you know what I mean?
Well, he's one of my best friends, so he wasn't afraid to tell me the truth. But he was right, and I knew he was right. So I liked the idea, though. I liked the hook a lot, and I liked, and so I think it might have been later that night at home. I sat down on the couch. It was kind of late, and I was living over in Highland Park at the time, and when I moved
Which
into
is where
Highland
the avenues
Park,
are. For those of you that aren't in Los Angeles, there's streets are downtown, and then over there on the east side, right, of Hollywood, you get the avenues. And traditionally, there was a lot of sort of Latino gang activity out there in the avenues. I don't know what it's like now. I haven't lived near there for a long time, but I used to live not far from, York Boulevard or whatever, where I guess it's all hipster now. But
it's completely gentrified, but at the time it wasn't yet.
Yeah.
And that lyric, when the sirens wail and the dogs begin to howl, I'm not even kidding. I wrote that down. It popped in my head. I wrote it down, and immediately after I wrote it down, a fucking cop car or an ambulance or a fire truck screamed by on Avenue 51, and all the dogs in the neighborhood started fucking freaking out.
$1 zillion. The question is, who let the dogs out?
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
It was crazy, and it was like meant to be, man. You know what I mean? And
I love this.
Then
I love this.
And that's
beginning.
when I decided to just write it about the neighborhood, and that's
running
all it's
in
about.
slow motion through the neighborhood tonight, dodging bullets by the light of the moon. Smoke a wet one to your head. Now your heart is full of lead. Left for dead on the avenues tonight. I love that. I mean, that's tight, and it's kind of in almost limerick form, and it's beautiful, and it immediately evokes that neighborhood. I mean, I'm thinking of the same place where you were when it went down.
And you know what a wet daddy is?
Yeah, isn't that like PCP or some shit? Yeah, a wet one. I think that kind of shit's sort of popular again. Like, right? Everything that's old is new again, right? And there's these weird urban drugs. Like, who the fuck went out looking for PCP? Well,
it's not
maybe
even
some
PCP.
gangbanger.
It's like
Formaldehyde
It's like what
or some
fucking I mean, that's what we always thought it was. Who knows what it? I've never made it myself or anything, but we always assumed that it was like a formaldehyde type of thing, and it's just made in a bathtub somewhere. But it wasn't like angel dust what they were smoking in before my time in the 70s and stuff. But
Life is short, filled with stuff. Don't know what for. I ain't had enough. I learned all I know by the age of 9, but I could better myself if I could only find some new kind of kick, something I ain't had, some new kind of buzz.
yeah, when I was younger, we smoked a shit ton of that Sherm, man, and it just.
So do you have a past
Just
history
fried.
with drug stuff? I know that obviously like with Social D, there was always that element of like, you know, it's been so many years since Mike Ness was like a drug guy. Like, and that always kind of is the basis of it. But it's like, you know, at a certain point, don't we have a statute of limitations on this? So were you like a teenage drug guy or were you like a junkie or how did it go down?
Yeah, I was a teenage heroin addict too, and I got cleaned up pretty young, and I've been clean, you know, for a long time.
And you grew up in Orange County?
Yes.
And so what was that there was that influence of just kind of like, I don't know, was it like you were going against the parents or the parents weren't really paying attention or what was going on?
Well, my parents did a lot of drugs too. I mean, they weren't junkies or anything, but they did a lot of drinking, hard drinking. They did a lot of blow. And,
right.
And you know, my dad smoked, you know, a lot of weed, and all my first drug experiences were literally drugs that I literally pinched out of his fucking stash boxes. You know, like.
Spend my cash on every high I could find. Wasted time at every school in LA. Getting loose, I didn't care what the kids say. We're white punks on dope. Mom and Dad moved to Hollywood. Hang myself when I get enough rope. Can't clean up though I know I should. White punks on dope. White punks on dope. White punks on dope. White punks on
You know,
See, that's
he-
a California guy. Like, I'm from Illinois. It's like, my parents would have been horrified, you know what I mean? But you're there in California. I've always been fascinated by this.
Yeah, he had a Cuervo 1800 box. You remember those boxes that the bottle used to come in? And he had the purple bag for what was that liquor? Chavez. Remember the purple bag?
Crown Royal?
The Crown Royal
Yeah.
bag, and they were in the bottom drawer in his bedroom, and you know there was always weed in there. And the first time I fried on mushrooms, I found some shrooms in there, and I grabbed a bunch, and me and my friend fried on mushrooms for the first time, and I found cocaine in there and hash and all that shit.
And so this is all as a teenager. Now, did that kind of derail your education, or were you the kind of kid that was pretty happy and had a lot of friends, or were you more like introverted?
No, I was introverted. I had no friends when I was young. I didn't have friends until punk. Pretty much.
Wow.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I was a total fucking outcast at school, and I mentioned living in Mammoth Lakes, you know, which is
Right.
a ski resort town. But my dad found work up there.
Is that
so
up like by Big Bear or something?
It's
What-
further. It's
Okay.
Highway 395, like heading out if you're heading to Reno maybe or something, you know. And,
I see.
But,
So it's very kind of combination rural kind of ski thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I hated it there. We ended up there for a few years when I was in grade school, right up into my early teens, and I just didn't do well there at all. So yeah, I was not a happy kid. I was always in trouble. I was on probation from like 3rd grade on.
For drugs or for robberies or
No, for just vandalism, shoplifting, things like that. Later on for drug stuff.
And why the name Two Bags?
Never a robbery. I'd never actually robbed anybody.
Right.
But
But you
I
just
stole a lot of shit.
stole stuff. Is that where Two
Broke-
Bags comes from snagging shit or?
The 2 bags actually comes from when I sort of bottomed out and did some time, homeless time. You know, I was a youngster still, but I was already homeless at 19 behind the drug use.
And that was before homeless was a big thing. That was
Yeah.
more when.
But also, this wasn't like Skid Row, downtown LA homeless. This was like suburban Orange County homeless. But it's still
Couch surfing.
But it's still couch surfing until people would get burnt out on me, or
Right.
or I'd rip something off from them. You know,
with
but-
2 shopping bags in your hand? Was that where 2 bags came
Yeah,
from?
when I started going in
Wow.
and out of detoxes and shit like that, I had nothing, and it, somehow that name the name actually came from it. You know the Harder They Come soundtrack.
Sure.
The Slickers have that tune Johnny Too Bad.
Oh, right,
It's,
yeah.
it's a play on that.
Oh, right. Well, you know we're playing Johnny Too Bad on songs and lyrics.
Walking down the road with a pistol in your waist, Johnny, you're too bad. Walking down the road with a ratchet in your waist, Johnny, you're too bad. You're just robbing and you're stabbing and you're looting and you're shooting, boy, you're too bad. You're just robbing and you're stabbing and you're looting and you're shooting, boy, you're too bad.
Wow, so the story of, see, the Johnny Two Bag saga gets better and better here. And it all jumped off for me because of this Avenues jam. Because like I say, I was dreading it, you know. You got to talk to somebody, you know, first we talk about song you love, and we get into Elvis Costello and all this stuff, and then it's like, okay, let's get to your stuff. And you're not like a big ego guy from what I can tell, and you're not like pushing your stuff. I mean, I'm always pushing my stuff or trying to play it for somebody or go, hey, what about this one? And so I figure like, okay, he made a solo album because every half-assed dude has to make a solo album. I'm listening to this thing. I mean, what about that female vocalist that comes in at the bridge? Tell me the story there.
She's
Tell
a
me.
fucking badass, man. Gabby, she's got a beautiful
What's her name?
voice. Gabby Moreno.
Okay.
She's Guatemalan. I don't know what part of Guatemala she's from, but she's obviously an incredible singer. She's a songwriter. She's a fucking monster guitar player.
Wow, we better play a little Gabby Moreno on this show.
She plays like, you know, she's like,
Siempre que te pregunto que cuándo, cómo y dónde, tú siempre me respondes quizás, 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 y así pasan los días y yo desesperando y tú contestando quizás, quizás, quizás.
like, you know, she plays killer blues and shit, you know? She really is a blues fan. I know it doesn't sound like it, but Gabby, Gabby was, she used to perform, I came across her, she was part of a residency at this bar in LA called Genghis Khan, where Jackson Browne's band did a Wednesday night thing there for a while. And
I won't be playing Jackson Browne on the show. I have to draw the line somewhere, Johnny. I've heard about this guy. He's supposed to be cool. You know. But anyway.
So he's on my record.
Is that right?
Yeah,
No
yeah.
way.
So Jackson's band was doing this residency, and people would their friends would show up and jump up there and play a song or two or whatever. In fact, Jackson would come down too and play with his band.
See, now I'm
at
in
this
trouble.
thing. Yeah, now you're gonna have
That's
to play
what
a
happens.
Jackson song. Well, it's funny because he got a bad rap because of punk.
Right, sure.
But not because of punk. But it's like I can
I know
hear
what you
Keith.
mean. Well, 'cause
I
he's
can
so
hear Keith
associated with,
Morris.
like, the Eagles
As we're
and that kind
sitting
of
here
stuff.
right now, I can literally hear Keith Morris's voice going.
I'm about to have a nervous breakdown. My head really hurts. If I don't find a way out of here, I'm gonna go berserk 'cause I'm crazy and I'm hurt. Head on my shoulders, it's going berserk. I hear the same old talk, the same old lines. Don't tell me that today.
You know, we had fucking Jackson Browne
Yeah.
on the FM radio in Los Angeles, and it was just a bunch of dog shit. You know? Right? You know? And, yeah,
That's a pretty
and the
perfect
Eagles and everything.
imitation.
Yeah, but I mean, I was raised on that stuff. It was
Sure.
like my parents played it around the house. I'm one of those weirdos in the punk scene that I cut my hair. I did not frisbee my Zeppelin records.
Right.
I did not because I had embraced this new form of music and this new scene, and I was all in.
Yeah.
Like I looked like a punk rocker and the
Right.
whole bit, you know what I mean? But I didn't it didn't affect the music I listened to. It
You
didn't,
couldn't jettison what you loved.
Yeah, I didn't
Good for
decide
you.
I didn't like the stuff I already liked because of this new thing.
Right.
And I also didn't not embrace music of all types going through it. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
pretty obvious from on here. I mean, you come in and there's accordion in here. Who did the accordion?
Joel Guzman.
Okay. Is he like a known quantity?
He is, yeah. He's in that world of
Is it like Tejano
kind of
music
Americana and stuff.
or
And
Tex-Mex kind of deal?
I guess I don't know a lot about that stuff, you know, but
Me either.
but he's he's a heavy hitter in that world, you know.
Yeah, the song has a great. I mean, I think to do a song about the Avenues, it was smart to bring in these Latino elements, but you didn't overdo it. You know, it wasn't like, hey, here I'm slumming here. You know what I mean? like you let them do their thing, and it's effective. But your contribution is very much Americana, blues based. You know, kind of. But that kind of dark minor chordy blues, you know. But I'm digging this track. So, what happened with this album? Like, was it more like I just got an itch, I got to scratch, I got to get this out? What did you put together a band and go start playing live, or how did it work?
I wanted to do something like this record for decades before I did it, and you know, like I mentioned earlier, I've been writing songs for forever, but I never wrote them and performed them. I always wrote, you know, something with, you know, in hopes that the singer of my band would want to bring it in or work on
Right.
it with me or finish it with me and make it part of our thing and get it, you know. So
the singers for you were Cadillac Tramps.
yeah, it was either the Tramps or
He's a rich man, used to be a lot rich. Call him a gold Sam, call him a Mr. Got a lady in England and the Philippines.
you know, I wrote a lot in the U.S. bombs.
Ah, okay. So that's
I didn't really write
Dwayne
much
Peters
in Youth
band.
Brigade. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you were in Youth Brigade. That's right. I didn't list all your credits. So Johnny's played with a lot of different groups. I didn't know about the U.S. Bombs. I think Youth Brigade I had some inkling about, but I guess it kind of gets overshadowed because it's all the brothers in there. And so
Yeah.
it's probably pretty hard to get any material
pretty
in there.
interesting to be
'cause
in
you
a
got
band
the-
with three brothers.
Yeah, because you got the three of them battling that, you know, each other. So for you to get a track in, so have you had a lot of luck getting songs? And what about with Mike and them? Are you on the Social D train of writing songs, or is it pretty much no, it's all his
I
material?
mean,
kind of
it's always been, him and Dennis wrote a lot of stuff together in the early days. So a
Right.
lot of Mommy's Little Monster is him and Dennis.
Right.
Right. I got a lot of writing on a record called Sex, Love, and Rock and Roll. I got a little bit of writing on Hard Times and Nursery Rhymes, and
So give me a track that you wrote on
what would be a good one? Okay, how about play Nickels and Dimes?
All right, we're gonna listen to Nickels and Dimes on Songs and Lyrics.
I'm a Cadillac tramp, the end of his road. A swapping rat who's sitting on gold, yeah, baby. I'm a guitar gangster without a tune. I'm a baseball bat that's waiting to swing. Your lone shot friend with the broken knees, yeah, baby. I'm a penthouse pauper with nothing to do. I'm chasing nickels and dimes. The rest of the world passes me by.
All right, that was Nickels and Dimes by Social D. I'm sitting here with Johnny Two Bag. So Johnny, you came up with that one, and you came up with that na 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 hook. I mean, that's kind of the kicker in there. But then Mike goes and kind of rewrites the original lyrics that you came up with.
Right.
So is that kind of the dynamic? Like you guys is with Social D? Is there like does it have that vibe of like you guys get together in the space and kind of play around with different guys' stuff, or is it more at this point like you know Because with a lot of groups that have been around that long and have attained that level of popularity, which is very popular, especially for punk. I mean, it's hard to think of a bigger band than Social D in punk. You know, is it kind of, you know, Mike feels the pressure to come up with all the material, or is it more, how's it working?
Yeah, I mean, generally, it's definitely, it's his band, you know,
Sure.
100%. And so you can present things, you know, and which is what I did. I was, you know, and I was invited to present ideas, and I did. I said, you know, I give them.
Yeah, because that's a catchy hook in there. I mean, it's cool that he had the foresight to see, like, oh, this will work, you know?
Yeah.
Because it definitely works with the group. It's not like you hear it and go, oh, somebody else did this. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same vibe of the group.
And I'm a fan of SD long before I was in the band. You know, I mean, they were our hometown heroes. You know what I mean?
Right. Now, did you guys meet up in rehab or at the show, or what? How was it all working? Like, did you witness the sort of mythical era of Social D and
I saw
the hardcore drug abuse and
for sure.
this and that?
Yeah, I saw shows, all those shows back then. Not all of them. I don't go all the way back to the beginning. I'm not that early. You know,
Right.
I'm like a late 80 guy.
Late 80s
you
guy,
know?
yeah. We played with
80,
them once in the
81.
late 80s.
I cut my hair in 80. You know.
Right.
And but yeah, I saw the spiky black hair, you know, eyeliner, mascara version of Social D with Dennis and Derek and of course Brent Lyles on bass. If you remember Brent, the spiky blonde haired guy.
You know, I'm ignorant about Social D. It's not a band. You know how some bands, even though they're really big, they just kind of get past you. And I don't pay attention to everything, so I never really knew, you know. There's a lot around this band that other people know, and they're like, what, you don't know that? And it's like, you know, I think if you grew up in California, it would have been impossible to avoid, you know, but I'm from Illinois, so it was kind of like, I knew about the California kind of first wave of bands, the Black Flags, the Dead Kennedys, and this type of stuff. And then that next wave, you know, bands that people are really obsessed with now, like Social D, The Descendants, Adolescents. I didn't know about any of that till I moved to California. Years later, sort of mid-'80s, late 80s, that I first kind of became aware of it. It wasn't part of my rock and roll DNA.
Yeah.
That's
the thing about music, man. It's kind of like I wonder often, like I love P&I. Like, they're one of my favorite bands.
Rudimentary P&I
Yeah.
from Britain.
Yeah, like the first 2 EPs and their first 12-inch, Death Church. That's the shit, man. Like, that's some of the best punk ever made, ever, in my opinion. If I heard that music now, at 57 years old, for the first time, would I dig it? I don't know. I probably might not like it.
Right, yeah.
Because there's that thing of where you were at and what you were doing and how old you were.
Right.
And what you were experiencing when you heard this music for the first time.
Yeah, and,
You know?
and the experience really would trigger it. Like, I remember being in high school, I was maybe a junior, I saw that MDC was coming to town. I had that record of theirs with John Wayne Was a Nazi and whatever, and we went down to see it. And there was these guys opening Minor Threat. I didn't know what it was. So then you look at these guys and it's like, you know, MDC looked like adults, you know. Most of the bands that I'd go see, everybody looked like an adult. These guys come out, it looks like a bunch of kids. They're our age. So right away you're thinking, okay, what's this gonna be? Then they proceed to fucking blow MDC off the stage and just fucking destroy. And it was a real wake-up call, because it was like, You think you got a band and you're good? These guys are your age and they're fucking killing you.
Yeah.
And you know, the context is everything with this stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm a poor boy born a rut. Some say my manners ain't the best. Some of my friends have been in a whole lot of trouble. And some say I'm no better than the rest. But tell your mama and your papa, sometimes good guys don't wear white. Every day I work hard. At night I spend a restless time. The rich kids and all their lazy money.
The first Social D song I ever heard, I think, was Lewd Boy. And that's just on this kind of rare comp called Hell Comes to Your House.
Right, sure. That
Do you know that record?
Yeah, that was when I first heard Bad Religion and those kind of bands. Yeah, I think they're on there.
No, they're not on Hell Comes to Your House. Bad Religion's.
Oh no, it was How Could Hell Be Any Worse? That was the
That's
one
the
that
first Bad Religion album. That's their first 12
Ah,
inch.
okay.
Yeah, okay, so Hell Comes to Your House was kind of, at that time, considered sort of a death rock record. Because
Interesting.
Christian Death and 45 Grave and the Super Heroines were on there. That band from Long Beach, Rhino 39.
Okay.
Another Long Beach band was on there. The one that Reggie was in. Secret Hate was on there. Red Cross did I think that's the record where they did Puss in Boots by the Dolls. It's a fucking cool comp. Get it?
Right.
If you-
Yeah,
if you like-
absolutely.
if you
Well,
buy
we'll play
records
some
or not.
tracks from it.
'Cause I don't think it's even on the streaming services or anything. So, you know, if you can find it, it's a really good record, man. But Social D had 2 songs on there, Lewd Boy and Telling Them, play Lewd Boy.
Let's play Lewd Boy on songs and lyrics.
This is still my favorite Social D song. No matter, you know, to this day, I think this is the best shit that band's ever done.
That was Lewd Boy from Social Distortion. Definitely a different side of them, the earlier, punkier, and drugged out version of Social D. I mean, it kind of seems like part of what that whole thing rode on was just sort of the star appeal of Mike Ness, because like you listen to that, you're not really listening to a hit jam or something, right? I mean, was he sort of was it just sort of like among that scene, he was thought of as a very charismatic kind of character? I mean, that was
Absolutely. You know, you nailed it, dude. It's like he just, I mean, I remember listening to that. I got that record. I was locked up. I got put in youth camp for a year and a day when I was 14. And I had a furlough, like a 5-day furlough. I got to go to my dad's in Anaheim. And he took me over to Music Plus, I think was the chain, you know, one of the like music store chains in Garden Grove. And I picked up that comp, which had just come out, and a couple other records. I think Fear the Record had just come out.
Great record. One of my faves.
I might have picked up like the Christian Death record, which was cool with Rick Agnew playing guitar. It's a fucking cool record.
Burning crosses on a nigga's lawn. Burning dollars, what's a house without a home? Death in your white sheet glory. Death in your passion. Talk about sugar on the 6-finger knees. Conversations about the holes in your hands. One with the garden of man's desire. Conversations about the kingdom of fire. Conversations about the kingdom of fire.
But, you know, here's this band, Social Distortion, and they sound like that. Well, that's a sound, you know, don't you think?
No, absolutely.
That's a thing, you
Yeah.
know? And, you know, Ness has got that voice, you know, and picture, it's black and white, and here's this, you know, he's got this fedora on and a black eye. You know, like he'd just been in a brawl that night, you know, or something, and the whole band just had this creepy look to him, man. The bass player's got a trench coat on, and you know, just early punk shit, you know, Southern Californian punk look or whatever, but just, I don't know, and yeah, I think that Mike has always had a strong charisma, you know, and people gravitate towards him, and, you know, there's a certain thing that, certain people have that, you know, like, I always heard that Darby Crash had that, or like, you know, another guy I grew up with, this, you know, have you ever heard of the Brian Jonestown Massacre?
Sure, yeah.
Anton Newcomb was the singer of my first punk band when we were kids.
Right, and he was another guy like that.
He's a kind of got a cult thing, like, you know, and people just, you know.
Yeah, in rock and roll, it seems like many are called, but few are chosen, you know? And I always felt like I was called to do it, but I just wasn't chosen, you know what I mean? And like, I had my form of charisma, but yeah, you'd walk into a room with certain guys and it was just like, well, that's the star. It doesn't matter if you write a better song than him.
It's
It doesn't matter if you produce a better record than him. There's the star over there, you know. And it's funny how that works, you know. It's like rock and roll chooses certain people, and that's just how it's going to be. And you know, you don't get to make the call about that.
A perfect example of that is Another State of Mind, the movie.
Right.
I mean, Sean and Mark Stern put that whole thing together. That was their baby, right? They booked the tour all the way up through Canada to the East Coast and back, you know, 1982 or 3, whenever that was, right? And they bring their buddy Social Distortion from Orange County along. And they did not hire a film crew to follow the tour, but they invited some guys, some friends of theirs, to go along and document the thing. But because it wasn't a work for hire, it wasn't their film, right? But in those days, nobody was thinking like that.
Right, you didn't know what copyright was.
There was no money to be made anywhere off of what they were doing.
Right,
It was literally a labor of love, and it was, you know, it was authentic all the way to, you know, don't you think? And so this film crew documents this entire tour and everything, and they just sort of like, somehow the camera just keeps going over to Mike.
Right, he's the guy.
Right?
And all the chicks keep gravitating over to Mike. They're not looking at Sean and Mark, yeah.
And then he's writing this tune through the tour. He's working on this new song called Another State of Mind that's about the tour,
right.
You know? And they end up using that song, and they title the movie after the song, and they put Ness on the poster, standing there in front of the school bus. And all of a sudden, it's a Social Distortion movie.
Yeah, many are called, but few are chosen. Well, I'm here with Johnny Two Bags. We're going to close this one out. Let's give Youth Brigade their due, huh? We'll play a little bit of Youth Brigade on songs and lyrics.
Woke up, hung, locked on the brakes, don't know where